What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. So today we're going to talk about Crown Zenith and Prismatic Evolutions because, at least for me, these are the only two sets right now that I'm considering putting money into. Now in the future that's going to change. I think Surging Sparks, Destined Rivals, I'm going to want to pick up more of that. But right now the only two things I am looking at are more Crown Zenith and more Prismatic ETBs. And Crown Zenith, I was waiting a little bit just because I wanted to see where the data was going to go over the next couple weeks. But this week, we had a pretty solid update, and I think we're at the point now where these could potentially start moving into the mid 160s, 170s fairly quickly. So I want to grab another case if possible. In Canada, it's fairly difficult to find a sealed case. Most online stores only have like 2 ETBs in stock or 4 or 5. It's very rare to find one with a case, and those stores are marked up into like the 220-ish range Canadian. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do there. Maybe I'll just get more loose ETBs, but I would like to get a case. And I'm kind of just cycling some money that I made from Crown Zenith tins and booster bundles, and I'm putting that back into the ETBs. I like the ETBs long term. I've come to love ETBs just in general over the past like 8 to 10 months. I think they're a much better investment, at least now, especially a lot with these specialty sets that are very popular like Crown Zenith, 151, Prismatic Evolutions. They seem like a no-brainer. And if you guys are in the spreadsheet, you can go look at the data to kind of get a better idea of what I'm talking about. If you guys aren't in there, I will show you the PCETBs for this week. I did this data at about 2 a.m. last night. And nothing super crazy going on, or I guess not last night, this morning technically. But either way, I think the things to look at here are probably Prismatic ETBs, the PC versions. $270 USD, selling at 14 a day on eBay right now, which is very high. Journey Together about 8, Shrouded Fable around 6, Surging Sparks 4.29. So the more recent sets are selling at a faster pace, which makes sense. And some of the older ones like Paldea and Fates and 151, 1.36 per day for the 151 ETBs, and they're $470. Like, that's pretty respectable. We also had 3 cases sell this week for $1,800, $1,850, and $2,200 USD. So there you guys go. There's a little sneak peek. And if you guys are in the spreadsheet, you can go look at the regular ETB data. It is done. But Crown Zenith, you guys already know, it's a great set. It's very popular. And one thing I've been talking about in console calls with a couple of people looking to build larger positions in Pokemon right now is that during the lull of like late 2023, early 2024, at least locally for me when I was in Canada, the things I would sell and get asked about a lot were Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith and 151 were basically the only two sets that I got asked about a lot. And, you know, granted, I am in a small town, so if you're in a bigger city center, it's probably going to be different for you. But that was a tell for me that these sets were ones that people really wanted to open. They were sought after, and it makes sense. The pull rates in Crown Zenith are fairly generous. If you guys go look at TCG player data, this is based on 1900 booster packs. You can see here it's fairly easy to pull some of these cards. One thing I will say right now, which is kind of a gripe I have with the Pokemon hobby, and honestly, it's even worse in One Piece if you guys follow One Piece, but it's the fact that the pull rate data that most consumers trust is based on a very small sample size. Now, Crown Zenith, 1900 packs, TCG Player, when they did their data, 1,200 packs, I believe, for Prismatic Evolutions here, which that's not a great sample size. Sometimes they do like 7,000 packs, 8,000 packs, which I think is okay. Again, like I would prefer to have a much larger sample size. And that's why I'm curious in the future if any of these large rip and ship companies or people, just individuals doing it, if they'll start to keep track of their pull rate data themselves. I think it'd be fairly easy for some of these people to do that, especially considering they know how many packs they're going through, or they should know in theory how many packs they're going through. And it shouldn't be that hard to mark down when you pull the top chase or whatever. You don't have to do it for every card, right? But maybe track the top chases just to get a better idea if that's actually a decent estimate in terms of how many you're supposed to be getting. Now, in regards to picking up Prismatic, I think it's a good time to start dollar cost averaging into the ETBs or other products. Again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens once the Costco bundles hit the market. But I think it's a good place to start just in case it doesn't have a large effect on it. It could potentially, we'll have to wait and see. In terms of secondary market data this week, there were way less Prismatic ETBs on the market and the sell-through rate is still very strong. So I imagine even if we get a lot more ETBs on the market, they're going to get chewed through fairly quickly. But you can buy some other products too, right? You can go with the PC ETBs. I think this is a decent option if you believe in PCTBs. I'm probably not as big of a believer in these. If you can get them at MSRP, that's great. I think long-term hold that point. But spending $200-300 on these, I just don't feel as confident in them. You could also look at the super premium collections. Same sort of deal though, at $217. I'm not really a huge fan. If these were like $100, 120, 130, something like that, then sure, maybe at that point it's worth building a position. One thing you guys do have to remember with the UPCs and just ETBs in general is that they aren't as space efficient as something like a booster bundle or a booster box. So you need to have a decent amount of space, right? Like it's pretty easy to fill a room up with like $50,000, $100,000 in ETBs. Whereas if you're doing that with booster boxes, you could probably just fit it on like one shelf, depending on what set you're getting into. So that is one thing to consider. If you guys are considering investing in some of the top singles from Prismatic Evolutions, I'd recommend still holding off. Again, we have those Costco bundles coming. There's a lot more supply that is going to hit the market. I don't think we're near the bottom on some of these cards. Some of the top ones, maybe we're getting closer, but I still think for most people, there are going to be better opportunities in the future for you to pick up a lot of these chase cards, or at least the ones you want for your collection, for cheaper. But as always, you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are there any other sets that you have your eyes on right now? Are any of you buying booster boxes at $200? Some of these SVR sets like Paradox, Temporal. I had someone ask me about Paradox today in the comments, and just when I thought it was going to move, I don't think a set like Paradox is going to be moving in the next couple months. Maybe like super slow growth, 1% a week or something, even less than that, right? But Paradox, Temporal, I don't think a lot of these sets are going to be moving anytime soon, but maybe that means it's a decent time to build a position if you don't have one already. But I'm rambling way too long at this point. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.